You know, something that has been part of the e-reader industry for over a decade now, that's not technically an e-reader, is the 13.3 form factor. We've seen the 13.3 pretty much come into inception at around 2013 with the Sony DPT S1. From there, the RP1, and then Pocketbook had a play in it, and Onyx had a play in it. One of the longest still standing companies to this very day doing 13.3s, Onyx. I don't think there's any other company that has been consistently making 13.3s for as long as these guys. Bigme started to make one for about 4 or 5 years, then they dropped off with theirs. Sony made theirs. They lasted all the way to the RP1, technically the RP2, which is a legitimate creation, but even then they have just scaled back their operations. Onyx has definitely been focusing on 13.3s for longer than any other company. This one is a 13.3 inch Carta 1300 glass screen, 3200 by 2400 with 300 ppi. This does have 6 plus 128 when it comes to the storage, RAM size, and the ROM size. Unfortunately, they still haven't implemented 8 plus 256, which is already 2 years old by now. Lots of companies, including Hisense, has already been on that. And this comes in white. I'm not sure if this one comes in black. They didn't specify. And it has microphones and speakers on it, so it's just aptly named the Note Max. I mean, we're seeing a little bit of kind of full circle, running in circles type of thing, but we will unbox it and review it all the same because it's Onyx, man. They've been doing this for so long. No other player still exists in the front first billing Onyx Boox capacity than these guys. So on the outside of the box, you get a very nice reflective, recessed, shiny aluminum inlay. It's not, it's just paper. Note series logo. Honestly, Onyx, man, they've just been killing it lately. They really have. Anything they basically touch and release turns to gold. You have another recessed logo here. It's nearly impossible to catch, but it is there. It's very nicely recessed in there, almost like it's just been branded. It's quite cool. Now, the box has a foam inlay, which we would expect because the device is just right up on the surface. We're just going to put this off to the side just for a second. Now, if you guys have been following our coverage on the latest industry goings-ons, you will know that basically there's been this abandonment of passive EMR / Wacom, and it has to do with licensing fees and all that kind of stuff, although that's the same body as the Nova Air. That is the exact same body as the Nova Air. Before I get to... Oh, okay. Well, there you go. This one's looking like it doesn't use capacitive. We're going to have to test that out. We'll test that out in this video, don't worry. Got a USB cable and some documentation and all that stuff. That's pretty standard. And you have your little thimble cover for that. So that's really good. I'm happy to see this. I'm happy to see this. The Note Max. Oh yeah, very nice, very nice. I believe they are using Onyx glass, they call it, and this does have the super refresh technology on board as well. The right side is completely clean. The bottom has your microphones and your USB-C. On the left or the bottom, I guess, depending on which way you hold it, you have your 5-pin copper contact pogo pins for additional accessories, including a keyboard, and you have your 2 speakers as well as these inset kind of divots that use to line up the keyboard and the other accessories. You have another microphone, power button, and no camera on the back, so that's totally cool. The back has this nice kind of frosted glass. It is not, but it feels like it, so that's what it is. And I believe this should snap to the side right there. Oh, wow. That's a pretty strong magnet. I am super excited to see if this can actually support Wacom. We're going to bring some pens in. We're just going to get through the regulatory stuff. This is just stuff you can kind of skip. You can do auto sleep, never sleep. You can do bottom gestures, navigation bar. I love the navigation bar. I'm going to keep that. It's my favorite. I don't like the gestures, although it does work. It works really well. I don't personally use them, but we'll show that in the review. So, oh my goodness, let's get going. Before we write on it, I have an active capacitive pen that everyone in the industry seems to be using right now. It does not work. Now, the Wacom pen. Thank goodness. Okay, and just for good measure, we have a custom Lamy pen and that works as well. So we are rocking and rolling. It does seem that they have reserved EMR or Wacom to a lesser extent, depending on who they're going for licensing. They have reserved it for their more premium units, and on the other units, the Go's and everything else like that, they seem to have abandoned it for a cheaper end price, because this one is expensive, and they have basically left it to this unit to have the more expensive licensed protocol on board that allows to communicate between the analog world and the digital world, hence digitizer. The overall operating system is basically the same as every other Onyx, which we will of course get into in the full review. We're not going to do that now, but you have everything in the middle, all your apps, every kind of shortcut key at the bottom for your reading and your store and your storage and your settings. You have the top drop down that gives you all of your kind of status things. You have your Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, eink center. Eink center is going to be where you change your speed modes. You only have normal and A2 on the home screen, but depending on the app you're using, you will have different speed modes there. So that's basically it. They leave it to you to essentially craft your own experience, because they give you things like the Books Store and the Books App Store, but they are, unfortunately, I don't mean to put this as a dig at Onyx specifically, but any company that releases their own proprietary store outside of Barnes & Noble, Kobo, or Amazon are pretty useless, because they're just public domain free books, and you can just use Google Play. You just sign into Google Play and you get millions upon millions and millions of applications. Not only that, Google Play gives you Google Play Books, where you have millions of books and manga and graphic novels and magazines and newspapers and editorials. There's really no utility to having the Books Store specifically. It doesn't do anything. So this is everything that comes in the box with the brand new 2025 Note Max by Onyx Boox. This is very exciting. This is a black and white unit that is meant to compete with the non-color current offerings, the Fujitsu Quaderno and other 13.3s in its scope. This one has no color, but it does come with a Wacom/EMR passive pen, which means you can use any pen on the market. This is very promising. It looks good. It feels good. It's built well. Let's get into it in a full review coming up in the future. See you on the next one.